This is what we're making, an adjustable stamped ring with a gypsy set 1.5 millimeter stone. Very simple, and it should only take you between 15 minutes and half an hour if you're organized. It's really quick. There's nothing about this that's complicated. So have fun. The shank I'm using for this is 1.5 high by 3 millimeters wide. Get your ring size in millimeters, add 1.5, multiply by 3.14, and for this one we're going to add 7 millimeters after that's done. Cut your shank to length, and if you can't bend it easily, anneal it. Once it's annealed, mark 7 millimeters from the end, because that's the end we're going to forge. And I'm just going to use a bench anvil and a planishing hammer and use the rounded end of the planishing hammer. Put the side that's going to be the outside of your ring against your bench block and just planish that 7 millimeter end. So I've hammered it roughly to half its thickness, and you can see how it spread it quite nicely. Now, by putting the top on the bench block, it's nice and flat, so we can do our further stamping quite easily. Now, at this point, make this end the shape that you want. I'm just going to lightly round it with my file. Same thing with this. Put a pleasant curve in the end, because this is not going to be soldered. These ends will be just the way they look when you're finished, so make them nice now. So, file, sand with your sanding stick with 400 grade paper. Now we're going to stamp this in, so we need to anneal it again, but the only thing we need to anneal is just this end. Everything else is still annealed. Put your pattern on your metal. Make sure your stamp is straight up and down. Hit it once. I'm just going to put what's basically a sun pattern. Just a dot in the middle with north, south, east, west marks, and then marks in between. Once you have your pattern in, hold your thumb on that pattern about 3 or 4 sizes smaller than your ring size. Form it around. And use your rawhide hammer, because we want our pattern to curve around the mandrel. So work your way down until it's the right size. Form your little curl on the end the way you want it to be. I'm going to make mine so that it fits around the middle. And I'm just going to use my flat half round pliers, which are my normal ring bending pliers. And I'm just going to bend a little bit of a curve on the end. And I think to make my life easy, I'll hold it in my ring clamp. This is one of the old style ring clamps, but they work quite well. So that's what I want. So back on the ring mandrel, smooth it out, then we're going to set our stone. Now for this next part, all we're going to need is a 1mm drill bit and a 1.5 round burr. So put your round burr in your pendant drill, hold it sideways at the point where you want to put your stone, spin it up, and that will give us a little dent where we're going to drill. Then your 1mm drill bit, and hold this on your bench peg so that you don't drill through your fingers. And drill all the way through. Then take your round burr, and we're going to put a little bit of wax on it. I use beeswax. And we're just going to burr in until the wide part of the burr is even with the side of the ring shank. So don't go too deep. Don't go deeper than that. So now we're going to set our stone. So put your 1.5 faceted stone, that's because we have a 1.5 round burr, put it on your bench plate, table down, that's the flat part down, and you push your ring over it. Now ideally, when you push it over it, it'll hold the stone in. So put your stone in, and then you're going to just burnish the metal over the stone so you can see where I'm polishing the metal when I'm pulling it over the stone. Work your way all the way around. And I'm just pulling against myself. I have my thumb braced on the ring. And you can see how the metal curves down and grabs the stone. And when you can see that it's down against the stone all the way around, you're finished. So at this point, hallmark it down here, sand your bump off, polish the ring, and you're done.